Today we have a guest.
We have introduced
Who is
ourselves
she?
yet.
Oh, we are. Welcome back to our new episode of Con Artists. We are, if you watched the previous episode, you'll know lah. So I'm Sarah,
And I'm Sherms.
and we are convention artists. Today we have Kayan.
Hello.
Yeah, so Kayan actually is working with me for about 2 months, and she's been helping out with day-to-day operations, content creation for Sarah Thursday, and she's been a really great help. And why I'm taking her in for these 2 months is kind of like a casual mentorship program, and I kind of just want to pass on some things that I've learned through doing a small business for 8 years, because Kayan is trying to start out her own small business as well. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Kayan and I am also known as Kayantoast on TikTok and Instagram, and I studied communication design in Temasek Poly, and I'm graduating this year, and I'm graduating actually like in a few weeks, so it's kind of scary, but I'm very excited to like start doing my own things this year. So yeah.
Yeah, so we brought Kayan on because we figured that like a lot of you are probably in the same boat as Kayan, and for us, I mean, we have graduated
Many
years ago.
Yeah.
So I think it's very good to sit down and talk to like a fresh graduate, fresh blood,
Fresh blood.
and like just discuss about like what's been happening lately,
The
like
new generation.
and yeah, so because our views are probably a little bit different.
Kayan, you can tell us about what you're trying to start and what you're gonna make, what your business is gonna be about.
So basically, I have been doing my own crafts and like drawings. So actually, I started Kayantoast more as like a design/art account. But then, like slowly on like my other social media platform, which is TikTok, I basically posted mainly like fashion/daily life things. And because that one started to take off a bit more, I decided to like transition my Instagram a bit as well
into
and
like a personality vibe.
yeah, a bit more of like my own personal like posts of like my face, my outfits, and these kind of things. So because of that, I feel like my Kayantoast account has become more of like a
Online
personality persona kind of
Yeah.
Insta account. I think that's why for like the gap year that I'm taking, I'm planning to focus more on kind of separating like Kayantoast from like my art/business side of it. So during this gap year, I'll just be focusing more on my small business, which is going to be called Toasty Towns. And I'm very excited to like do more of that, and I'll be boothing in late May.
Let's see.
Yeah.
At the time
I
of
think-
at the time of filming, I think by the time we post this,
It's
might be
already
over.
be done. Yeah.
but yeah.
But next time, you'll see her next time, right? Yeah.
Because you're graduating soon, and then you decided to start a new account to post like your
Crafts.
to post your craft and start your own business. Was this something that you had already decided to do from the start? Like, have you ever decided to maybe I should go and get like a normal job or something, or has it always been like something you definitely do?
Okay. I think actually I only started like focusing more on my like crafties and like doing my own accessories, doing my own crafty things. It was mainly during like circuit breaker.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I think it's really
that's cool.
because I had so much time.
Yeah.
Before circuit breaker, I was very used to like going out very often and like
that's true.
just hanging out with friends, like
Yeah.
because I'm a very extroverted like people person, so I'm very used to that. But then because of like circuit breaker, I'm kind of like forced to find something to do.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
just
Like a hobby.
just to explain, circuit breaker
Oh,
is,
yeah.
is Singapore's way of
Lockdown.
saying lockdown.
A PC way of saying lockdown. Does it make sense? I don't know, man.
Yeah, so actually during circuit breaker, like, or like just before circuit breaker started, which was I think 2 years ago,
It's,
June.
I think Was it? I think
March.
earlier, March to
It was
May.
like, yeah, quite early on.
March to May 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, so March 2020. So before that, like TikTok was like still in the like
New-ish.
dancer era,
Oh, that's true.
known as like second musically.
Mm.
And then after like during circuit breaker, I think that's when like a lot of the content kind of shifted a bit.
Oh, that's
Like
cool to
more
know.
niche content started popping up on TikTok during
see.
circuit breaker period. I think everyone was just so bored at home.
Oh my god, I remember the
Dalgona.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah,
like
yeah.
the coffee started everything, I think.
Yeah, so like during that period of time, yeah, I was like forced to do something, and because I was so bored at home and like I'm just looking at my phone like 24/7, right?
So you picked up crafting during that period.
Like I've always liked crafting, but I never had time for it before circuit breaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our Singapore life is so like fast paced, like our education and
So-
all that.
Yeah.
Circuit breaker was in 2020, right? So
Yeah.
at that time you were still schooling.
I think I just finished my first year,
Oh.
and then it was like the holiday. Then I'm going to go into
Oh.
second year.
But then like circuit
Yeah.
breaker kind of.
So circuit breaker happened like just before I started my second year
I
of poly.
see. So it's like all great timing for you.
Yeah, actually, it was not that bad
Mm.
because a lot of my like schoolwork is done digitally anyway. So it wasn't that like disruptive. Yeah.
Okay,
It was
okay.
more just like a bit sian because you don't really get the full schooling experience.
Yeah, meet your friends, do
Yeah.
group work and stuff like that.
So then because of this crafting thing, then you decide to go and
Because basically like during circuit breaker, I bought a lot of things.
like
Because I'm like always looking at my phone and there's a lot of other like small businesses that were popping up.
Oh.
So during that period of time, I was like just very like spendy. Like,
So
I, like
what are things that you bought?
so I bought a lot of like handmade things as
Singapore?
well. Singapore or
Oh,
Singapore.
oh,
Because
that's great.
hashtag support local.
Yeah.
And also because I don't know why like during that period of time I was able to find a lot of local businesses as well. So I bought like my first custom necklace that I bought was from Nika Designs. And after I bought it I was like, wow, I love it, yeah. But it was so expensive. But it was like kind of like painful on my wallet. And then
I mean, because you're a student.
yeah, because I'm a student lah, and I think it is fairly priced, but it was still expensive for me at that time. And then I think because like I would always send like my things that I want to buy to my friends first. Like I'll be like, should I buy this, guys?
Oh, like ask
Should I
for
buy
their
this?"
advice.
Yeah, I'll be like,
Yeah.
guys, which one should I buy? This one or this one? So then after I send them, like I will send it to my like design friends, right? And then my design friends are very, very like crafty.
Oh,
like
okay.
DIY.
So they know whether it's worth it or not.
Like they'll just be like, you can do it yourself. Then I'm
Oh.
like, oh.
oh,
No, then they'll just be like, why don't you try to like do your own self? Because they were like, you're spending too much money. They're like,
just
you need
to
to
make you
stop.
save money.
Yeah, it was more like to save my own wallet. Because if not, I'll just keep buying also. So it's like, I also have to make money to spend the money.
That's true. That's
So-
true.
So, and I think because when you are like starting like crafties of any sort, right? You usually buy in bulk. Like you won't really like beads. You cannot just buy like 3, even though that's what you might
Yeah,
need just for one necklace, right? So I would buy like
Because materials, they always come in like a pack.
a
or
pack.
something,
Yeah,
right?
so it would come in a pack, and like I would have a lot of extra. So then I'll just be like, oh, you guys want? I'll help you make. Yeah. So then
like, what kind of products do you make, and out of what material? Do you make?
So I started off with like a lot of like plastic beads, and a lot of the things I made is like from online stores. Like you could buy like the materials very readily from online stores, because especially like circuit breaker, I couldn't really go out to like buy them from real life stores anyway.
Okay.
So a lot of it was like from Shopee.
Ah.
This kind, yeah. So
So you made accessories?
yeah, so
or-
at that time I made a lot of like beaded accessories, which were like pretty cute, but they were like not very unique in the sense that like anyone else can find those materials
not very
online.
customizable.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
original.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
okay.
like, I mean, obviously you still try to like make it work, but
Yeah.
I think like over time I realized I wanted to do something that was a bit more like my flavor, or like a bit more unique in the sense that it's like only I can make it.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think every creator will have that passion to want to create something that other people cannot create. Yeah.
I think that is what gives us
A unique
our
edge.
unique
Yeah.
uniqueness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when I first started, I was like happy with it at the point of time, because I was like, oh, this is so fun. Like I didn't know, like I don't know why, because in my mind it never crossed my mind that like, oh, you can quit yourself.
Make things.
Yeah, I would always be like, oh, I can just buy it from someone else.
Yeah.
So it was really like my friends pushing me that were like, okay lah, you need to save money. Like you can find and try to make yourself.
Thank
kind of
goodness
thing.
for your friends.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay. So then I went online, then I tried to find the materials, and obviously I couldn't find like the exact same materials as them, but then I could find materials that I thought were cute as well, and then make my own things from that. Yeah. So then from there, I was like, oh, this is really fun, and I really
started as a hobby.
Yeah. And I really like to make like wearable things, just because I like fashion. I like styling. So making like wearable like accessories is very fun for me as well.
Yeah. I can see that you wear a lot of accessories.
Yeah.
You like do your nails.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I love to like be decked out.
What about like right now? What kind of crafts are you making? What kind of accessories do you make?
So after that, I think like the clay accessories kind of things started to come up as well. And my friends were also making like clay accessories, like my friends' claw hands. So I was like, oh my gosh, so cute. Then I was like, oh, I should try again. Because when I was in primary school, when I was in primary school, clay was like a trend also. I don't know for you guys, but it was a trend.
What kind of clay?
So during that point of time, like I don't know, like I had this like primary school friend that would make clay things, and then I'll be like, oh my god, so cute. Then I will buy also. Then I'll try to like make some cute things. Then I remember I'll watch like YouTube tutorials. Then they'll be like, oh, so you just need to like yeah.
Do they like dry over time on its own?
It was like those oven baked kind.
Oh, oven baked. Okay.
So
I've never touched like clay.
I mean,
I'm very bad with crafts.
I did art electives and stuff like that in secondary school, but I've never. I mean, it's very weird to me that like
different era.
Clay was a trend, because I mean like when I was in like early primary school, early secondary school, the trend was eating pencil lead. So
what? So like okay, I had weird trends too.
Yeah, it's very funny to see the difference.
Yeah, I think so then like when I saw like it was coming back in trend, I was like, hey, actually I remember I did it before. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can try my hand at it again. I started like with string charms first, just because like I was like,
like string plastic, right?
String plastic charms, because
that's quite common. I've seen it.
It was like quite. Like, I don't know. I don't know what like sparked it, but I found it. Then I was like, oh. Then I found like a Shopee link which sells it, or like on Carousel or something. Then I bought it and then I started. Then after that I was like, oh, actually I want to like try making something more 3D again. So that's why I went back to clay accessories.
Oh, okay.
Then yeah, so I also like what I mentioned is like I wanted to do something that I felt was more like unique in a sense, and I also wanted it to be more cute, because a lot of the things that I was seeing were like kind of agey, which is cool, but I prefer like cutesy things.
Style.
Yeah.
So you can obviously tell. Are all very
we're like a Oreo sandwich.
It's the strawberry.
Yeah, the strawberry cream.
Oreo. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I wanted to like try my hand at it again, and yeah, like when I started, I was like, oh, actually I kind of still have it.
I still have crafty hands.
Yeah, I still have the crafty hands. So I was like, okay, it's not that bad. And I really enjoyed like making things that I thought were like really cute and something that only I could do lah.
So I know you make like out of clay, right? I know you make like macarons with bears on top and rabbits and stuff like that.
Super cute.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to explain like a little bit more in detail the little tiny things and what inspires Toasty Town.
Oh, okay. So I think for Toasty Towns, I want it to be like an escape from reality. Yeah, because I think a lot of times like I feel very like you know, like so when I draw, I want to draw something that is like escape lah, like something very fun,
whole other
like a whole new world. Yeah,
whole new world.
like, and I want it to like be joyful also, because I feel like I just want people to like have happy feelings when they look at my art.
Give positive vibes.
So that's why I wanted to like make a lot like my characters and like the things that I make like very cutesy, very like fun. And I think when I'm doing clay now, I realize I like to work smaller scale for my clay stuff. I think it's just like challenging but very fun to like see it finish
like
as
in a
well.
miniature form.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Who
think
are some characters that you have?
so currently I'm still like in the process of finalizing the characters, but they are basically all like baked characters, like pastries. So all of my characters are like from Toasty Town, and they are all from like different parts of the Toasty Town.
Oh,
Yeah. So I think all of my characters are kind of like made out of different like sweet
Like pastries.
yeah, so
like cookies, macarons.
So I have a character called Flossie, and it's this bunny which is made out of like cotton floss.
so cute.
Yeah, and then there's like a baker who is like the mastermind behind all of these creations.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, so I hope like as I further the storyline, it can be a bit more fleshed out, like showing you like where all of them come from, like where do they live.
I'm very
these
sure,
kind of things.
along the way, you think of more and more backstories, and it's all gonna make sense together. Yeah, I think for a lot of people, they think that they need everything together, then they can start their own business. But a lot of things, you figure things out along the way, and it's all gonna make sense, and everything will like manifest together, man.
As you can see, it started as a hobby, and now you want to make it
A full-time thing, hopefully.
Yeah.
Is it really are you really trying to do it full time, or
Just seeing where it goes.
Yeah, so I think I'm taking a gap year just to like focus more on doing my own things, so like content creation and the small business side. So I think I'll just see how it goes. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on myself also to like really like blow it up or anything. I just want to like have fun along the process. But yeah,
like for me as well, when I started Sarah Thursday, I also just like gave myself 1 year to see where it would go, and if it didn't go full time or it didn't work out, it's not growing, I would just send in my resumes to find like a design job and all that. So it's good to have like different perspectives, and also like be objective of like where you want to head in future. So
I think it's quite interesting that like especially like your kind of your generation, I guess you can say, your generation is more open to like things like small businesses and stuff. I know that if I were to mention wanting to do a small business straight out of Polytechnic, I'll probably get like an earful from my mom or my parents in general, because it's something that wasn't as hyped up. I wasn't as well known, recognized. So it's very interesting to hear how and I'm sure you were influenced by a lot of other.
I was very inspired by like a lot of like local
other
artists as
crafters
well.
So it's interesting to hear how like it's growing. It's definitely the community every year, like people like you come out and graduate, and you know they're trying to do their
cool
own thing.
because like even though like COVID has been such a shitty thing, right, it actually sparked a lot of new businesses, and like because people had more time, people in your age had more time, they didn't have any like financial responsibilities yet, so they could use the time to really focus more on their passion, not worry so much about perhaps like having to earn money for their families and all that. So it's really like a great time to explore everything that you wanted to do before. And learn new things. Like I took up like embroidery during circuit breaker, which didn't amount to anything, just for fun. So it's like we had more time to focus on our hobbies, and sometimes hobbies becomes something that we want to do in future as a full-time job.
For me, circuit breaker was the birth of my Patreon. Because
so
at that time I was pretty much depending on cons to earn a living. So after that Patreon, so actually like circuit breaker helped all of us in a way. It made us.
There's
Yeah.
always when something bad happens, humans adapt and they try to make the best out of it. And that's really all like business, small business. You really just have to adapt to situations. Sometimes you find a better thing sparks from like something bad.
Yeah.
So have you ever thought about how you were going to start this business? As in like, have you seen what like other brands are doing, and then you're trying to like what are some things that you have learned just from being online and stuff like that?
I think when I started, it was more like, okay, just post and then see how it goes. Yeah. And I think initially a lot of my like sales were like from friends and from like schoolmates that just follow my account.
That's normal.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Were you selling? Were you selling through like just Instagram?
Just
or?
Instagram. Yeah. So actually, I think it might be quite different from you guys, because when we start, a lot of us start by like just selling from Instagram.
Oh,
I
the
did that too.
Instagram.
Yeah.
The
Like
Instagram shops, right?
No, like just Instagram DMs.
DMs.
Like,
okay.
like you post it, then people comment, then you tell them like their invoice, and then they pay now you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
It's so much easier right now.
So a lot of like my friends would like a lot of the people that I followed at that time did it that way.
That's
like
like a very manual but very personable way of purchasing directly from the owner.
And I think because I bought from a lot of these people also, like I got to see like how do they like handle the customers and how do they
so you learn
post
from them.
So I saw like, okay, like they will like set an alarm like, okay, I'm gonna post in on this timing, and then after that when they post they will like let people comment and then they DM them. So then that's like why I was like, okay, I can do that also. It's like not that much of an investment for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just Instagram anyway.
Yeah.
So it was still pretty like I think it was pretty new.
Like a low profile thing.
Yeah. But I was very inspired from my friends or like the people that I followed at the time. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's cute.
You did your research basically.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
my research through
which is basically what we also talked about.
Yeah.
Just learn from your peers.
Yeah.
Learn from peers, learn from people you respect.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Then I think slowly as I followed more like arts accounts and like crafty accounts, like more and more came on my like explore page, and then I'll be able to like see them. Then I'll be like, oh my god, it's so cute. I want to do something like this in the future. And I think because I was like schooling, I couldn't really like focus a lot of time on it because my schoolwork is already like very digital and very like creative driven. So at the end of the day, like I have no energy to like do more creative work. So that's why I would like try to do it like once in a while during the holidays, but I think like especially during my final year project period, I was just like, oh my gosh, I just want to do something that like I really love and like I'm really like motivated to do. So
you turn to crafting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's so nice to hear a different perspective of how you are starting your brand. Yeah, just through Instagram and not even through your brand's Instagram, but from your personal account. I think it's also very important to kind of build this relationship with your already supporters right now, and then when you start a brand account, then they will move on to support your brand. So I think you already like laid the foundation, which is so cool. Like I really admire that, and I like that you get very inspired by other people because it's like this fire going on inside, and like I remember the times that I just started and you're just like absorbing so much information and trying to learn as much to be efficient in your business. I admire that spirit.
I wish we had that kind of I mean we definitely had like role models and
but there wasn't much of a community going on. Right now there's so many different communities. There's like the craft community, there's like tattoo community, there's a lot of like independent tattooists right now.
There's like art market
conventions
also.
And it's so nice to see the community thriving even more, and I'm sure that when the Singapore opens up and events come back, it's just gonna be even more thriving and bustling. So you were saying how
you are currently prepping for your event, which
Yeah.
is on
28 and
28th
29 May.
28th and 29 May. So what's the process like for you? It's your first ever booth,
So
right?
I actually booth
okay.
last June with like a bunch of my like creator friends. So I was really lucky like that they like my craft, then they asked me to like booth with them. And it was a really nice like experience for like my first booth, because it was like our own event thing. And I think that's why I was like, oh, actually this is something that I do enjoy to do. Then I am gonna be boothing like with my poly friends in the May boothing. Yeah, so currently for preparation, what I'm doing is because I'm like starting an entirely new like Instagram account, I'm kind of just like trying to
rebrand and
basically
rebrand.
the soft launch of
Yeah,
your
yeah.
label, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm like revamping like my art style a bit, and then also just like trying to come up with like more consistent like brand colors, so that like my feed looks more cohesive.
Things she learned in design
Yeah.
school.
And after that, I'm also just like kind of like planning out my feed now, so that like when I launch the Instagram account, like it looks like quite nice that people want to follow. Yeah, and
aesthetically pleasing.
yeah, and then I'm just also like since like my final year project and all of this, like whenever I'm like stressed, I'll like sketch out like ideas that I have for like my booth, because we actually planned this booth like since like the start of our final year project, because we are like, oh, okay guys, like let's booth together. So then like we like along the way, like if we have inspiration, we'll just write it down or draw it down. So I've been like just in the works of like preparing like all of my prints, like my stickers and all of these things, and finding like my table set up and so
like props and stuff.
yeah, so just kind of like trying to figure that out. But I think it's very lucky that I get to see like a lot of other like creators that I look up to that have boothed, and then I can like kind of look at them and be like, oh, actually I really like this one table thing that they have, or like I like the way
And
that they did
just,
this,
like stitching everything
Yeah.
together to form your own
So
own look.
I think I'm very excited to like continue working.
I think you're
for it. Yeah.
you're currently in like the very exciting phase of how do I wanna
Build up your brand.
build up my
from
brand.
start.
How do I want to show myself to the world? I think all of that is very exciting.
Yeah. I'm excited for her as well.
Yeah.
Like partaking in all her processes, and like every time she has like new little like clay things, she'll show me, and they're all like super cute. Yeah.
So
okay.
hopefully you guys can support her.
Yeah. So you're just about 1 month away from your booth, right? So how do you plan to promote, and how do you plan to like attract people to come to your booth to support you? Like, you know, like, is there a preferred platform you have, or?
I think because I've been like posting quite regularly on like Kayantoast,
On Instagram?
on Instagram and on TikTok. So I have like some idea of like how I want to like promote it when I do like shift account. So like what I'm going to do first is like I'm going to post an Insta story that's going to be like, hi guys, like I'm planning to like move my business crafty things more to this account, just to like kind of soft launch it. And then after that, like as I start posting the new posts, I will also like lead them there, because I think some of my audience, they do follow me more for like my crafts than like for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
think so. I don't know. I don't know.
I
But-
don't know too.
I think there's a
maybe-
mix also.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's your aesthetic in general. Maybe
Yeah,
that's what
because
they
your
follow you
craft
for.
suits your aesthetics, and they're just following you on your journey
Yeah.
as well.
So I think like hopefully there is like people that are also interested in like my crafty side on Kayantoast, and then they'll move there. And then along the way, I'll definitely like be posting like my like behind the scenes. Like I'm kind of just thinking about like, oh, what do I like to see like other crafters or other like small business owners posting, and then I'll kind of like create that for my own thing. So I think like some of the things I really like to watch is like studio vlogs, or I like to watch like preparation, like, or like their like crafty times, or like like I started with like this, then after that, oh wow, it turned into that. So that kind of like content.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's very interesting to see like you know, when you go to a booth, you go to an artist booth, you just see all the finished products, right? But I think a lot of people want to see like what goes into these finished products, especially if they are handmade. So like if seeing all the behind the scenes and then the process of you creating like that little like charm for the necklace and all that, I think these are all such important like content that we should show our supporters, because after that they will kind of relate the value of the item, and then they can decide whether, you know, whether it's worth their purchase and their support.
So the thing about promoting yourself on social media is that there are so many different apps. So like you mentioned studio vlogs and stuff. You have a YouTube channel as well, right? So how do you promote yourself when you have so many different social medias? Do you like focus on one only, or you know,
do you prioritize any over the other one?
Yeah, because
for
us, I think
we are stuck on Instagram and we're trying to be on TikTok.
I'm struggling to be on TikTok.
I think for me it's like I'm very used to TikTok just because I've been posting on it for like maybe like 2 years now.
Whoa.
Yeah, so or like okay now maybe 1.5 years, I don't know. But basically like I think I always enjoy watching video content because I think it's a bit more engaging than like still images. And I think nowadays like consumer behavior is more like interested in videos as well. So that's why I also just like to make it.
Really just hook you in. Yeah.
And I think for my like when I'm preparing for my booth, I'll focus more on posting like consistent video content on TikTok first, because I think YouTube content takes like way longer for me to edit.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, the reach is not as high, and so like
by the time your event come out,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly. And also,
like,
it's like fun to do like overall vlog for it. But I think to like actually gain like my people to like be interested in the booth in time, I have to do more like TikToks and IG reels and like IG stories, this kind of thing. Yeah.
I think like for me, right, because I'm still I'm pretty new on TikTok, like maybe less than a year. I think I started posting in May last year, and it was really just like random things, not so business related. But I found out that actually TikTok is really, really useful when you're trying to promote a certain event on a certain weekend. Because like when I try to target like example TikTok SG, then maybe it will target towards the Singaporean audience, and then because TikTok, if it happens to pop off or like go slightly viral, right, it will reach the audience that you want it to reach, like Singaporeans, right? And it will reach them in time for them to appear at your booth, like most of the time. So even though I don't have a huge following on TikTok right now, sometimes if the video goes well, I see a lot of like new faces from TikTok coming to my booths. And it's been so interesting to see an entirely new community visiting and appreciating what I do.
So on the other side, for me, I'm not I wouldn't say I'm not doing well on TikTok, but it's definitely on the back burner for me, because I feel like promoting yourself on TikTok means that you got to put yourself out there, and I have this, and then I've been struggling to try and put myself out there more often. So if you notice, my TikToks don't have me in it. It's a lot of drawing and
more your art,
my art, and I feel like I'm not reaching audiences as much as I am on Instagram.
So your reels have been doing very well on Instagram.
It's kind of funny how it works, like on TikTok and on
Definitely.
on Instagram. So for TikTok, I feel like it's a very different audience. It's very personality driven. Like everyone on TikTok has a personality. They have things to say, and as someone who doesn't really like to put herself out there, and it can be, you know, it can be a little bit daunting and intimidating.
I think different apps work for different people, so I think it's okay to, you know, not be so focused on TikTok if it doesn't work out for you, and if IG is working out for you more, then like focus on that. But don't give up. I think
it's either that or I'm like shadow banned on TikTok.
Is that a myth? I don't know. But so for Sherms and I, because we've been on Instagram for so many years, we are more used to how Instagram works, and because we post art, we like also the still images and putting our 2D art onto Instagram. And so we are still getting used to video format, but we do understand that IG has also been focusing a lot on like reels and videos, so that's what we've been trying to create as well.
At the end of the day, we've talked about adapting. So you just gotta adapt to whatever the algorithm is.
So like for example, Sherms have been doing like drawing time lapses, and they've been doing so well on reels. Right? And it's so cool to see that. And then for me, I've been doing more like behind the scenes, setting up for pop-ups and stuff like that, packing videos and whatnot. So we are always constantly learning, and we'll never know what the algorithms will bring and what apps will come up in the future. But I just wanted to ask, because like you have quite a strong social media presence on like TikTok, right? And then a growing Instagram as well. Like, what kind of opportunities do you think like TikTok has given you because of your growing presence?
Okay, I think the thing about TikTok is that actually it reaches a very wide audience that you wouldn't necessarily reach on Instagram or other social media platforms. I think it's because of the user interface of like having the For You page,
and the like random scrolling. You'll never know who you hit.
And it's like, for Instagram, I'll usually use it only to see people that I already follow. I won't really use it to like find new
Explore.
people. But when I'm on TikTok, I'm always like, okay, what's new? What's interesting? Like,
what's the latest
what's
trend?
happening? You know. So I think the fun part about TikTok is that you are really like able to reach wider audiences,
That's right.
You, because of that, like you are able to like gain a following that you might not have been able to gain on like other social media platforms as well.
And once it grows, it really grows quite fast, right?
I think because like Instagram, you rely a lot on like people reposting your things or
sharing.
The algorithm just being nice to you. But
definitely.
I think TikTok is a bit more like friendly to like new creators.
Yes.
Yeah, or like small name creators. Like even if you don't have a lot of followers, your TikTok could go like crazy viral.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's also a luck thing. Like a lot of times there are like some videos that I'm like, this one legit deserves way more attention. So I think it's also like a luck thing.
Yeah, that's true.
At times, like you could produce like the best video, but it could like just not reach the correct like people within the first 100 views or whatever, and then it causes it to like stump. So I think it's like a hit or miss kind of algorithm.
That's true.
So
but I think for new creators, it's really worth the time to invest in creating a TikTok and trying to showcase your merch more. Because like for Sherms and I, we've been on Instagram for so long, and it's just like we're so used to it already, and we've really grown like this community of supporters there that like starting an entirely new app is quite daunting for us, and we never know what it might like
bring.
It might bring, or will it be fruitful? Will it be worth the investment? But right now I'm kind of trying to balance both apps.
It's like, but at the end of the day, you won't know until you try. So I mean, the option is there. Why not? Give it a go.
And anyway, you can post on both
you
apps right now.
Cross-pollinate your contacts.
I mean, you never know.
And I think like opportunities I got from like TikTok is like, I never thought like I could gain a following. Like I never thought like like I mean I would follow like people with big followings, but I would never think like, oh, I can be one of them. You know what I mean?
I think nobody thinks of like that.
Yeah.
It just
Like,
happens.
The first few videos I posted, it was like during circuit breaker. Like I don't know what I was doing. Like I think I was like making smoothies, or like I was like
Dalgona.
like taking photos and things, and I didn't really expect much. So like the first few I posted got like I think like 10 likes. But I was like, oh, actually not bad. Like I don't even know these 10 people, you know what I mean? And then like slowly after circuit breaker like loosened up, then I remember I saw this one guy's like TikTok video from Singapore, and he posted this really like aesthetic vlog of him, like I don't know what he was doing, like just walking in a park. But I was like, wow, this is so inspirational. Like this is like wow. And I think it was because like at the point of time TikTok was like transitioning to like more niche content and more like you're now on this side of TikTok kind of thing.
Yes.
So previously it was like very like dancer,
like many different worlds and communities happening.
So I think it allowed me to like kind of find my community in that sense also.
That's really nice.
Because like a lot of like the people that I meet online, they're really nice, and I was lucky that I could meet people who are like also like creatives like you and Sherms. And
I think I found her on TikTok first also.
So I was like I'm very lucky that I was able to like make like new friends along the way, and also like on Instagram as well, I was able to like find like my own like community of
like-minded
crafters.
people.
Like which like led me to having like my first opportunity of boothing. So I think it's like to me like
interlinked.
like community is very important.
I agree so much.
I think it's so like valuable that I was able to meet like so many nice people along the way, and they're very supportive. Like so that's why I feel like the thing about Instagram that I really like is like you can repost people's things and you can like show your support for one another in that way. So it really helped me to like make new friends, and I'm more like interactive on Instagram.
Can talk
actually
to them, like DM them.
Yeah, like I will like reply to their stories and say whatever. But
basically like a messaging app already.
Yeah, at this point, right?
So it's like that's what I like about Insta. Then I think TikTok just like allows more like exposure.
That makes total sense. Yeah, so like through TikTok and Instagram, like the opportunities were that you could make friends with like-minded individuals. You could like start boothing and like I guess it gave you inspiration to actually start your own brand, right? So I think that's so important, because a lot of times when you start brands, you start it alone. And sometimes that can get lonely because you're constantly working alone, right? And it's always great to have people like bounce ideas off, and then like give tips to one another, help each other grow, help inspire each other. Because like even like for Sherms, I get inspired by the way she draws, the way she colors, because I can't really color
of these things.
And then like so it's really, really cool to learn from each other.
I think so. It's very fun. I was curious about. I think
throw it
one
away.
of it is like, how do you overcome art block?
Oh my god!
Especially since you guys have been doing this for years at this point. So I think like now that I'm in like the starting phase, obviously I got a lot of ideas. You know what I mean? It's easy to have ideas when you're starting on a blank page, but I think now that you guys have been doing this for like a lot of years, and I'm sure there's like a certain amount of like stress that comes from like, oh, I need to come up with an idea this month. So like, how you guys get through that?
Sherms? 2 minutes.
For me, 2 minutes. For me, I like to do mood boards, like like I mean Pinterest, and for me, because I'm doing yokai, I'm doing a lot of like these imaginative creatures. So for me, I like to do like an alternate universe. That's basically my branding. It's like an alternate universe where like they are all like existing in one universe kind of thing. So I create characters and I think about what they're doing in this universe. So then you start thinking about a lot of different things, like for a kappa, for example. The kappa are sea creatures. They like to eat cucumbers. So from there I start to think, what would it look like when a kappa goes to a supermarket and just steals all the cucumbers?
So
you know, that kind of thing.
So you create scenarios.
Yeah, I create scenarios and I draw them out.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that's one way to encounter art block. And
So you like never run out of things because the world is so vast.
I wouldn't say never run out, but there are a few different types of art blocks. So there might be the art block where you have no idea what to draw, or you might have that art block where you want to draw something, but everything you draw is not up to what
You want.
So yeah, for that kind of art block, I always feel like it's normal. That just means that you haven't learned how to draw that certain thing.
Yeah.
So it's more of a challenge for me. Like let's say I don't know how to draw a supermarket layout, so
Yeah.
I would just go and research and
Yeah.
and study the supermarket layouts. You know,
And that's
So-
how you learn and grow. Yeah.
yeah. So so it's just like studies or like thinking about scenarios in your head. And yeah, that's how I usually combat art blocks. But I mean, there are days when I just don't
Just
want
need
to
a
draw.
break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes
Yeah,
you just
like-
need a
Sometimes you
break.
just need a break.
Giving
and
yourself
you come
breaks
back
is
better.
important.
Yeah.
So for Sarah,
For me, I really rarely get art blocks because I draw so slowly. Like 1 month maybe I draw like 1 or 2 illustrations at most. So it's like actually ideas come to me faster than I draw.
Okay.
Yeah, and because I focus a lot on the business aspect of Sarah Thursday as well. So like sometimes creating, I don't even have time to draw or create, but I have a lot of ideas. I just need to find that time, sit down and get a sketch out or something like that. But yeah, so on the inspiration side, I don't really encounter art block that often, but yeah, one way I think I could combat it is really writing down all the ideas that just drop into my head, like be it on a random bus ride or walking home,
In the
like,
shower.
take out your phone, write down like,
Yeah.
wow, I have this idea of like I want to create. I normally think in projects, not just one illustration.
Yeah.
So when I think in projects, there's like 7-8 illustrations in it already. And that's
Okay.
gonna take me
8
almost
months,
a year.
the whole year.
Yeah, to draw. So I'm set for the year.
Yeah.
So I like to think of the project, what's this project theme is gonna be about. So one of the project overarching topic is on 7 scenes, and then like what's the elements that's gonna tie that project together.
Yeah.
So I chose like a red rope, and then everyone has a shibari aspect to it because that period I was very obsessed with shibari and like kinoko shibari and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm all set for that.
Nice.
Like several months. And then I always have projects I want to do, and then I'll just like leave it when I have time and all that.
So for you, it's more like your time management than anything.
It's more like setting aside time to be creative, because I'm always like busy with the business side of Sarah Thursday.
Like ordering things, cutting stickers.
like packing orders
Yeah.
and then pop-ups and all that. So, but I'm glad that I have Patreon, because Patreon forces me to draw at least one new illustration
Same.
for one new t-shirt every single month. So that's what keeps me consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit obvious also. The way I work and the way Sarah works is very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I'm the kind where if you can put me up like in a mountain and then just don't disturb me, that's all I want to do, like just draw. But for Sarah, she needs
I find
She likes
joy
the-
in the business aspect.
she finds joy in the business
I
aspect.
find joy in organizing events, curating group exhibitions, finding new experiences to meet people and giving people new experiences as well. Yeah, so not just the drawing part, because the drawing part actually takes a lot of energy from me. Yeah,
Which
but
is
for
really
show-
the
yeah,
opposite.
Yeah.
we are different in that aspect. Yeah.
There's a reason why I do periodic shop openings instead. Yeah, because I feel like that takes a lot of my
Stress.
mental energy.
Yeah, lol.
Yeah, so it's
That's true.
very different how we
Yeah,
we
but
do
I think
things.
we also learn from each other, and we grow
definitely.
stronger in like our weakness, and like we take from each other's strengths as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
What's the other?
The other question I had is more like a Low's question.
Low's question.
It's like, how do you, like, when people ask you like what do you do for a living, that like you just met them for the first time, what do you say?
I'm a con
Grab.
artist.
Grab uncles always ask this.
Then what
Oh,
you
yeah.
say?
Sometimes I just want to lie and say, oh, I'm a designer, so that they don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult to explain our field of work because it involves so many things. So I always start out with like, I'm self-employed, and they'll ask, what do you do? So I have to explain, I'm an illustrator, but I also sell t-shirts.
Yeah.
Then, yeah,
Okay, just
it
to
will be a whole conversation.
preface, Grab is like the Uber.
Yeah,
Uber,
of
the
Singapore.
cab,
Yeah, the
the
Uber
cab
Singapore.
services.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
also have that question a lot, especially since I hang out at Sarah's studio a lot, and I end up taking Grab back. So yeah, they'll ask me things like, "Oh, why am I here so late?" And I just say, "Oh, work." I'll just say I'm working,
Yeah.
and then you'll be, "Oh, what do you work?" And then, I mean, I used to work in an animation company, so I'm just gonna I'll just say like, "Oh, I do videos and animation." like I can't be bothered.
No energy to explain it.
I can't be
every
bothered to
time.
explain. Yeah. And then they'll be like, "Oh, animation, what?" And then because I've been in the industry, so I'll just like give very
Yeah.
I mean,
very
'cause you
vague
know
answers and stuff.
What
But
goes
to me,
behind
it's
it.
like I can't even do like a white line.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me, so I'll just end up having to explain everything. Yeah, but if it's more like friends or acquaintances, then I'll be like, I run a little independent label. Then I'll just show them my Instagram, so it explains itself. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
the other one is just like merch designer, I guess.
Okay.
Like yeah.
What are you gonna call yourself next time?
I don't know.
I'm a crafter.
I guess crafters is a word.
Crafter.
Then they'll be like,
Is the
what
word
do you
that they use.
craft? And you
Yeah.
have to.
I was like,
Good luck to you.
Oh my god. Yeah. I guess I'll just say freelancer.
Yeah, that works. That works.
Do a multitude of things.
I'm a fairy. Yeah. Is that it? I think
So
we should end. It's been a long episode.
thank you so much for coming
Thank
and sharing your
you.
story.
Thanks for having me.
It was nice
Yeah.
to have you share your new experiences, and I'm sure you have more to share next time. Perhaps you can guest again.
I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Actually, if you didn't know, Kayan was actually behind the scenes
Oh, yeah.
for the past few episodes.
She's been helping us film.
Film.
So yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah.
helping us. Really,
Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, I've learned a lot from this mentorship so far. So really enjoying it,
She's
and
praising me.
yeah, I also learned a lot from like just talking to you guys. So I really enjoy it every time I get to hang out with you guys. Yeah.
Touched.
Thank you so much, and I hope you guys enjoyed like what we
Today's
talked about.
episode.
Like,
First guest.
subscribe,
Like, subscribe, comment.
and
Don't leave hate. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.